Please just use this time to start to feel the chair under you and Mother Earth beneath your feet. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes or soften your gaze. And simply breathe. Two weeks ago, Jeff Geiser was our speaker. And Jeff asked us to think about what life experiences we need in order to attain the goals we want. First, we need to identify what goals we want. So we will start there. I suggest starting with one goal. What is one goal you would like to work on? Spirit is alive, awake, and aware, flowing through you, supporting you. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Sitting in the shadow, we may not really believe there is sunshine. But the sun would be there all the time. It is there, but we must awaken to it." As you awaken to your inner spirit, what goal do you see? When you have clarified your goal, begin to consider what life experience or method of support might you need. Spend time now on these thoughts. please begin to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes. May you realize all your goals and have your life experiences. And when you achieve these things, I hope you stay humble at heart. Namaste.
Oh, hey, everybody. Good morning. I'm Jackson. Welcome to CSL Prescott. I didn't rehearse this part, okay? You see that? Looking forward to service today. We have Tracy giving the talk today, so that's good. She's really good at talks. You know what I'm talking about? She's really good at it, man. And I'm happy to say we have a soloist gracing our stage for the first time today, and that is Mr. Howard Fox, who spent some time at CSL's in California, and now we got him, so that's cool. And so we have that to look forward to, and we have all of service to look forward to. And I got a request to do this first song here from a little bird. And it's a great song, and it reminds us about the power of just being yourself, and we are being a community that embraces people who are their authentic selves. And it kind of reminds me, if you remember Rudolph, this song reminds me of the Island of Misfit Toys. Perhaps you remember that water gun that shoots jelly. And Bob is bossing you around. It's called The Union of Different Kinds. Goes like this. Sing it with me. For all the small people and all the tall people, for all the dispossessed, the absurd, for all the broken-hearted and the recently departed, for all the unwashed and the unheard. Mother Nature don't draw straight lines, broken molds in a grand design. We're on the mess, but we're doing fine. Work hard, carrying lifelong members of the union of different kinds. That was good. Second verse. For all the lonely faces, and all those empty spaces, and all the unloved, the denied. For all the little wheels turn a bigger deal. For all the trees and those that die. Mother Nature don't draw straight lines, broken molds in a grand design. We look a mess, but we're doing fine. We're card carrying lifelong members of the union of different kinds. Now this is the bridge. It's why the oak tree bends and the wind that blows, my friend, and the river finds its end in the sea. Yes, it does. Well, Mother Nature don't draw straight lines, broken molds in a grand design. We look a mess, but we're doing fine. We're card carrying lifelong members of the union of different kind. Mother Nature don't draw straight lines, broken molds in a grand design. We look a mess, but we're doing fine. We're card carrying lifelong members of the union of different kinds. Can I get an amen? So it is.
I got goosebumps. That was vibrationally sound. I'm just saying. I was watching this video on the way up here, and this guy was playing his music in the car, and it said vibration increases other people's vibration. So when people were watching him, all the people in the street started dancing because he was dancing in his car. That's what that reminded me of. And on the way up here, I said, Spirit, I'd really like to experience that today. And there you go. Because that's how it works. That's how we put it into the law. So good morning. Welcome to Prescott CSL. It's so happy to see you. My name is Reverend Tracy, and I am the senior minister here. And we just want to welcome you online as well. This is where we come to expand our growth in consciousness, to evaluate our beliefs, so that we can transform them in knowing our perfect and whole truth. And how we do that here is not only by supporting one another, but we have classes, practitioners, and prayer, and just really embodying that vibrational love and certainty of spirit. That's what you'll find here. That's what we're excited about today. And I just welcome you, and I love you, and I am so grateful. Thank you for coming today.
This is a Jack Fowler song. Sing it with me. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still. Be still and know.
Be still.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still.
Be still and know. So, as practitioner of the day, I simply lead us in prayer. We're still in know. And in the stillness, everything happens. And so as such, the service today unfolds during the stillness, during the songs, during our wonderful reverence talk. And with it, everyone gets exactly what they need at exactly the right time. And as such, I'm very grateful. And so, it's all good and very good. And we confirm it together by saying, and so it is. So it is. This morning, my thought comes from this month's Science of Mind magazine. And it's a quote by Emma Curtis Hopkins. She was a New Thought pioneer, a spiritual giant in New Thought thinking. And here it is. All of your affairs, as you look at them, represent your former way of thinking. They are held together by the glue of your former ideas. Now, if you withdraw that glue, what can you expect but that your affairs will all fall to pieces to let new affairs, representing your new way of thinking, establish themselves? Let's contemplate that for a moment. Now I invite our candlelighters to come forward. The Center for Spiritual Living Prescott, guided by the Science of Mind, acknowledges the diverse faiths and spiritual traditions that enrich our world. Each belief system offers a distinct understanding of the mysteries of existence and a unique connection with the divine. Lighting these candles symbolizes our collective reverence for the diverse paths humans take in seeking meaning and purpose. In this shared moment, we affirm and celebrate the multiplicity of the human experience. We light a candle for Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. For Islam and its teaching and belief in the one and only God, creator of the heaven and the earth. For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with the covenant between Abraham and God. For Buddhism, the middle path of non-attachment that ends suffering. For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. For the traditions of indigenous people everywhere and their close and sacred connection to the earth, sky, and waters. For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace. For the goddess traditions, celebrating the power and wisdom of the feminine energies, including nature and nurture. And for the Science of Mind, a philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it.
For all people everywhere. So it is.
Sometimes I wonder how I made it this far. I've won some trophies
and I wear some ugly scars. Before I go to bed, I kneel and pray every night. I wonder if God's proud of me. I hope I'm doing this right. I know lots of people, they appear to have it made. I battle with jealousy, why can't I live that way? Well, maybe they're just better than me at playing the game of life. Maybe I need to change some things, I hope I'm doing this right. The more I learn, the less I know. The more I change, the more I grow. I pray the road I'm traveling on will lead me to the light. God, I hope I'm doing this right. Most of my friends are from the wrong side of the track. Here's why I do not have a problem with that. Hank Williams was in the darkness when he sang I saw the light. I believe there's good in everyone. I hope I'm doing this right. The more I learn, the less I know. The more I change, the more I grow. I pray the road I'm traveling on will lead me to the light. God, I hope I'm doing this right. I believe there's good in everyone. I hope I'm doing this right.
Well, that song in itself was a talk. I think we should all go home and have a party. That was very beautiful. Thank you. And fits the talk so well today. I wanted to say hello again and share my gratitude this week. My grandson Kingston, his 7, is with us. So now I have 3 children in my house. This reminds you you're young. And also that it is a blessing. Oh, that's a little close. Can we turn that down just a hair? But I am so grateful. I haven't seen him in a year and a half, and so it's really lovely for him to be there, and it's helping me to live the talk. Calm mind, embrace the mystery. I came home from getting something, and there were toys everywhere because he's been gone a year and a half. And every phone call is like, Nana, do you still have my toys? Where are my toys? I'm like, they're here. So when I came home, he went through every box looking for his toys. So it was fun. It's so lovely. Children remind me to play. But I really wanted to say thank you to our soloist today, and to Bob, and to Sandy. That was beautiful. And to all the people, Jackson, that support us, Clay. Everybody here, if I've left you out, I'm so grateful. It takes a village to make this work. Even our community, when you read the affirmation and no one prompted you, I was like, look at Spirit go. You did that so well. I think that'll be your role from now on. We'll give that to you. But I just wanted to say thank you again. And today we really are talking about calming the mind, embracing the mystery of life. But first I want to tell you about a minister that started at a new church. So he was at the church for about 2 weeks, and someone came up to him and he said, a congregant said to him, there's a monster under my bed. And the pastor said, okay, what would you like for me to do about that? And he goes, I don't know. Do you have a mantra, a quote, a Bible? Can you come bless my room? And the minister said, well, why don't you just go home, take a deep breath, and look under the bed? And the man said, I can't. It's too scary. And the minister pastor said, okay, well, let me think about it. I'll look through scriptures and find something for you. So the congregant went home, and he was so afraid. He called his friend, and he said, that darn minister forgot about me. He did not give me a Bible quote to help me know there's not a monster in my bed. And his friend said, well, just cut the legs off and go to sleep. Then there's nothing under your bed. See, this is what the mind does to us. Like, there's always an answer for a calm mind. Sometimes we overlook it because fear gets the best of us. So that's what we're going to talk about today. That Ernest Holmes says that life is a mirror and reflects back to the thinker what he thinks into it. This quote really does encapsulate the power of a calm mind. When our minds are calm, we do things differently than when we are in fear. I don't know about you, but when I'm in fear, every problematic possibility comes up that I can possibly explore and takes me down 50 different roads, and it makes me feel like I'm in control, and I get my hands in the mud of life, and I want it Tracy's way. And you know, Tracy's way isn't the big picture and is not inclusive of everybody else. So today we're going to explore that habit of how cultivating emotional strength in times of difficulties, and how drawing upon the principle of emotional strength allows us to flow with the mystery of life. And you know, we are all works in progress. We all have shocks. We're human beings, and we are not here to be perfect. We're here to do the inner work. So when the outer objective thing is happening, it is reminding us to do the inner work. This week, we had some things going on at home, and I had a lot of anxiety, and I was driving, and I'm like, okay, anxiety, I feel you in my body. I have a belief. It has informed my body. Anxiety is the result, and I normally, I'm not supposed to be anxious. What is it? And I like to push it away or calm it down, but this time I invited it into some conversation, like, what's going on here? And I was driving, and I had this belief come up, and I was like, well, isn't that interesting? And I was so excited about that. So I called my mentor, Reverend Cheryl, and she goes, well, baby, that's nice. And I said, well, thank you. Isn't it exciting that I pulled up this belief, and now my mind is so calm? And she goes, yes, but you know, if you don't have the other side of that equation, the truth, then that belief is you're still going to ring at that vibration. Even though you see it, you haven't replaced the old idea with a new truth. And then she goes, so, all right, baby, what's the truth? And I go, she's like, well, I don't know. Come on now. Power, peace, love, light, beauty, joy. And I was like, what's the truth? And my mind immediately got caught up in how I thought she wanted to hear it, because I do know the truth. And so do you, because you are the truth. And when we have a calm mind, it gives us access to that truth. So another belief arose, like, I have to give her the right answer, and if I don't, I'm going to be in trouble. It was silly. And she's like, I'm going to sit on the phone with you. You can tell me the truth. And I go, ooh, well, I got to go in the daycare, so I better make it quick. But you know what arose for me is, I am enough. I am truth. I am light. I am love. I am enough. I love myself. Tracy's pretty cool. Flaws, of course. But I have, we keep cutting out. I apologize. I had this overwhelming feeling of calmness, and my mind went very calm. And I realized that and I realized this idea, and then Reverend Cheryl said to me, it ain't nothing but a lie. It is nothing but a lie. That anxiety is telling you your belief is nothing but a lie. And we're going to replace it with the truth. The truth is, the day you were born, you were enough. The day you made your first mistake, you were enough. The day your teacher said you could do it differently, and maybe you took it in a particular way, you were enough. You have been enough since the day you were born. You have been enough through everything you considered a mistake, and you are enough right now. And that belief took hold, and I got goosebumps in the And I was so excited. And when I got home, I had to do this. We had a court date, and I sat there so calmly going, let it be done. And it was such a different way to have an experience that my mind was afraid of. It was so beautiful. Clay, can you put up that first slide for me? A calm mind allows us to see life clearly and make decisions from a place of peace and wisdom rather than fear or reaction. Now, I don't know about you, but when I told you my mind goes down 50 different roads, it's really going down. It's looking, calculating, trying to figure out how it can get this done with the least amount of pain and suffering, which causes the most amount of pain and suffering. It's odd how it works that way. And so habit number one that we could cultivate is control your attention, not your emotions. The first habit of an emotionally strong person is controlling your attention. Emotional strength isn't about getting rid of our strong feelings. It's about knowing how to respond to them in a healthy way. Our emotions are not always in our direct control. If you really stop and pay attention to them, they come and go, because circumstances come and go. But there is one thing that resonates within you that is always the same, and that is your truth. It is an unwavering truth beyond any circumstances, because if your circumstances was the truth and what you felt and thought about them was the truth, then you would be that all the time, and the truth is you're not. Because as soon as some resolution comes or you step into truth, that vibration shifts and the experience becomes different and you feel a sense of calmness. So when we let go of controlling things, when we stay and try to stay in control of things, we only prolong our pain and suffering. And if you want to be emotionally centered, focus on controlling your attention. The attention is your superpower. You can direct it wherever you want it to go. And where you place your attention, vibrationally, is what grows. So we have the power to see a circumstance, as a negative or a positive. We don't want to lie about the circumstance, right? Reality of life, if it's very difficult. But what we can do is control our mental attitude as we move through it the best that we can. And if we can't, we phone a friend. And when we phone that friend, we stay open to what they have to say to us. I don't know about you, but I used to call someone and then I would go, I know. So I really wasn't ready for the truth, right? I just wanted to unload my story onto them. And I have beautiful mentors that'll go, you get one time. One story, and then after is my turn, and you're going to know the truth. And before we get off this phone call, I'm going to be able to say it to you. And that was really hard for me because I don't really think I wanted an answer. I just wanted to talk about my story. Again, which is fine. But when you talk about your story, you're recreating it in your mind over and over and over again. And you cannot find the peaceful solution from the same level of consciousness in which you experienced the difficulty. So we have to have faith and trust. And if we don't have that person, then we ask Spirit, show me that person. Send me an angel. We sit, and I know for me, I sit and I just have my own mantra that I repeat until I can find the words or the tears come. Because if you think about crying, it makes you feel good. But sometimes we look at it as being weak. And since we were babies, crying has been the sign of the breath of life. It releases, in our body physiologically, it releases something. I can't think of the word right now. Like it is a physiological reaction from our mind and body, and it releases endorphins in it and allows us to express ourselves. Even if you're just doing it in a car and someone drives by and they see you crying, I am like, they're like, you know what? It's okay. They see me cry because I am releasing. And by acknowledging our feelings without trying to suppress them, we can navigate more effectively our challenges of life. Practice number 2 is compassionate self-talk. Practicing compassionate self-talk is such a wonderful gift to yourself. when you respond to negative emotions in a manner to yourself that you would never deploy to another person, this is not considered a positive thing. Because I always think, would I say that to somebody else? And the answer is no. Then why am I saying it to myself? Oh, my self-esteem might have been lowered a little bit. I might be uncertain. I'm definitely in fear. And I need to fill myself up. And what is my truth? My truth is I am enough. My truth is I'm power, peace, light, beauty, joy. My truth is the day I was born, I deserve to be here. My birthright is the good, and the good in the world ought to be mine, and it is most definitely yours. So we can navigate more effectively our own resolution conflict in our mind. And when we become okay with ourselves and we can regulate our own nervous system and our own circumstances, then guess what happens when we open ourselves to the objective world? We are calm, and we open a window for divine knowledge and wisdom to flow through us and out. And you might even, I know for me it's like, ooh, what if the window closes? We all have these messages, right? We all have these moments. But even if you have that thought, it goes back to, well, if I had the thought, what if that window closes? Then I need to go back to the truth. I am enough. I was okay the day I was born. God is me. I am God. We are one. And the only thing covering up that truth is my own idea about myself. And if I have that idea about myself, I might have it about you. So if I'm in a relationship and there's a conflict, where do I need to go? Back here. You need to do the inner work. We need to see and let go and repeat, and we need to take the time to love ourselves. Because when we truly sit in the stillness and give ourselves everything that we wish somebody else would give to us, then you recognize that truth is your own, and nothing can shake you from your foundation. The world is full of shocks. The reality of what is happening in life can be difficult. What you think about that reality is suffering. So when we stop and practice compassionate self-talk, we build emotional strength. We treat ourselves with the same kindness, again, we would offer a dear friend. This means that we acknowledge our emotions without judging them. I never understood that when I would talk to my teacher and he'd say, don't judge yourself. And I was like, I wasn't judging myself. What are you talking about? Well, there we go. I apologize for the microphone, but we're going to go with the flow. I didn't really understand until much further down the road what that means. And I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and we were talking about relationships, and we found this really good book. And I was reading this quote, and she's like, yeah, I hate when I do that. It's wrong. And my ears went, and I was like, well, that's so interesting. Is it wrong, or is it just a habit that you've cultivated? Because when you say something's wrong about yourself, you're judging yourself, and you're applying a lot of pressure. And she's like, well, when I do it, it doesn't work. And I go, that just means you have to look at that behavior, discover the belief that's behind it, and replace it with a higher truth. And then you'll see that dissolve, and that habit really was just cultivated as a defense mechanism from something that you might have went through in your life. And sometimes people can hear it, and sometimes they can't. And what I realized, that's not really my business. My business is when the truth arises, and we're in conversation, and if I have to have the courage to say it, and they have to have the courage to accept it. And it's not an intrusive idea like I'm telling you how to be. It was a sharing of idea that came up when I heard those words. And this is what that wisdom does, is it informs you. You become a beacon. Just like my Reverend Cheryl, who, when I met her in Foundations, and I think I've said this before, I said to her, ooh, I need to know you. I can feel the wisdom oozing out of you. You're somebody that I want to love. And she was like, oh, Tracy, I beat high knees with my wisdom. You might want to be careful. And I was like, nope, I need a tough old gal. I need you. And she proceeded. We would get out of Foundations at 9. I wasn't working. She would take me to IHOP and sit till 5 a.m. and counter every story with a higher truth. It was very aggravating, and we sat for a long time because I could fight for my limitation, right? Have you ever noticed when someone might be giving you what you know is a higher truth, but you are really resistant to it? You're like, you don't know me. And you're really fighting. And one day she goes, are we going to sit here all night while you fight for your limitations, or are you going to realize your divine essence and be quiet and be still and hear that voice come through your heart so you know the highest truth possible about yourself? And, well, it scared me, so I did get quiet. But it took a while for me to understand. But, this is the inner work. It takes time. I don't know about you, but I was in such a hurry because I just wanted to get rid of the part of me I didn't like. And the quicker I could get rid of that, the better I would be. But the truth is, I needed to fall in love with that part of myself. That's what I'm inviting you in to what here at Prescott CSL is to look at that part of yourself that we don't always appreciate and realize. It has saved your hiney quite a few times, and it deserves appreciation. And what it is looking for is appreciation from the inside out. It is looking for your heart to open for your own thine self be true. Oh, there is a great love, and that love is me. I am that love. And when I embody that, I do the work to really allow it to land. I open up and I express at a greater and higher truth, not for you, for me. Because when I recognize that, there is no you, because the oneness of all divineness comes and becomes you. So when someone is standing in front of you, you may see their personality self, you may see their conflict or their pain and suffering, but the thing that you see the most is the spark of light that was there the day they took their first breath, and you know that as their truth. Hazel once said, and I think she said in her talk, somebody was having a negative self-talk, and someone she knew said, that's not the truth I know about you. Something to this effect. I'm paraphrasing Hazel. But I was so intrigued by that, because when I meet people and I get distracted by their story, I can easily slip into my people-pleasing, enabling, codependency, want to save them and want to give them all the answers, and then I realize, how will they ever know their truth if you're busy trying to secure their personality self so they don't suffer? They need to suffer in that moment. It builds their confidence that they can do it. It builds their resilience. It builds their ability to stand on their faith and to discover that essence for them truth. It is not my job to redefine someone's personality. It is my job to stand in that essence that is the same in you as it is in me, and to reverberate that to you at the highest level. And some days I'll be really good at it, and so will you, and some days we'll forget, and we have our own people to remind us of that highest truth. And that highest truth stands for the center, it stands for our congregation, it stands for online, it stands for all of Prescott and humanity. It is the beauty of the divine essence through our humanity, that we have a thought, it informs our body responds, and if we do not do the inner work to create a space between that false idea and reaction, we are in a perpetual loop of suffering. And we will continually go out to the objective world and blame, shame, or guilt, because ultimately what we're doing is having that about the side of us, that part of us that we want to hide away. But when we bring that into the light and we allow the love to fill it, that every pain and suffering is just an idea that has been seated in our consciousness that is an untruth. So finally, Clay, can you bring up the next slide? Part of this is our attachments to beliefs. They manifest as filters that prevent us from fully experiencing life and seeing the potential. Masks for work, masks for home, and you can tell because there's an incongruency that you feel in your gut, and there's this idea that, oh, that's not quite right. Why did I say that? And we go home, we might forget about it, we might ponder it. I don't know about you, but I'm a ruminator. I can ruminate on things for weeks. And what I have decided to do and have been practicing, and here to report it works, is I found my mantra, and when I'm ruminating, I immediately do the mantra, which stops the ruminating. It makes my mind go calm. The ruminating ceases, and the truth arises, and the reaction towards myself or anybody else in the room ceases. And you know, it's a little bit harder when you're in your direct karma, your relationships, because they are really there to help you grow. It doesn't always feel like that. Yet last week when we were driving home, lots of traffic because they're working on the freeway. And in the morning we're hurrying and getting everything together, and Bill packed 2 bottles and decided to take the back road home, which took us to a stop sign and 18 miles of traffic and a car. Stop, go, stop, go. And I could feel it. I could feel the pressure rising. And this idea came and said, don't you do the best you can do? Don't you? And is it gonna, what's the worst that could happen? It's gonna take a little bit longer to get home. What if you said, thank you for trying to get us home quicker? And Tracy aside is like, why'd you this way? We could have been on the freeway. We could have been home. Do you only pack 2 bottles? What is going on with you? And on this side, just like the angel and the devil is like, nothing bad is happening. Nothing bad is happening. Everything is okay. Take this moment, put on your headphones. I am a robot. I am a robot. Like, you guys didn't know that, huh? I fooled you. I'm AI. So it happens to all of us, you know, and we get very frustrated. And then when I got home, I had to forgive myself and go, hey, you did the best you could. But the real win was I looked at him and I looked at my husband, and I said, thank you. And he's like, what? I go, just thank you. Thank you for trying to get us home. It's going to be okay. Baby, she's going to cry. I'm good with it. And, you know, it was the best that I could do in that moment. But it was a different decision than I would have made if I had reacted from my frustration. So we do the best we can, and as we do it, our consciousness expands, real wisdom comes through, and we get better at it, like everything, right? My little grandson was playing a video game on the way up here, Kingston, and he said, it's hard. I go, of course it is. You just opened the app and you just started. I go, everything is hard when you just start, but you can do it. You can keep at it. You can keep failing. You can keep that little man falling off the top of the house, and he'll keep running back up. And then one time you're going to do it better than you did it before, and you're going to go, Nana, I did it. And I'm going to go, yes, you did. And I say that to myself every time I make a new and better decision. And I will say it for you too. I keep it in prayer for all of humanity. The final is setting healthy boundaries. When we set strong, emotionally healthy boundaries, and they are very hard to enforce if you weren't raised with them, but when we do this, we discover our discomfort, because what the discomfort is telling us in setting boundaries is you've never set them before. And if we're uncomfortable with people having opinions about us, boundaries are the hardest thing to do. But it's just like the video game. You got to keep doing it, and you're going to really screw it up. But the more you do it, the better you get. And this is how life works. So just because something feels bad doesn't mean it's bad. Establishing boundaries is an essential part of protecting your emotional peace and well-being and maintaining healthy relationships. Ultimately, people will respect you for it in the long run. So if you want to become more emotionally strong, practice communicating your wants and needs. No wishy-washy passive-aggressive. That doesn't work. I've tried. Have the courage to set and enforce boundaries. Know that it's going to be challenging. Remember, no is a complete sentence with nothing after it. Mel once told me, no, and here's my one-line mantra for you, I don't have to defend myself. It's really hard. It is really hard. When you were raised that way, you just got to give yourself a break. By respecting your own limits and needs, you create a space where you can thrive without being overwhelmed by external demands. So in closing, if you want to, again, become emotionally strong, work to build these 4 habits. Control your attention, not your emotions.
Focus on how you respond to your feelings rather than trying to suppress them. Practice compassionate self-talk. Treat yourself with kindness, understanding, especially during the most difficult of times. Use values, not feelings, to make decisions. Let your core beliefs guide your actions and not your transient emotions. Set healthy boundaries and protect your emotional well-being. And by incorporating these 4 habits into your life, you can develop that emotional strength to navigate life's challenge with resilience and grace. Last thing, my teacher would tell me, don't respond when you're emotional. And he goes, and by the way, that's very tricky because the ego will say, I'm not emotional. But if you are still feeling angst, you're emotional. Although you might have calmed down mentally, but if there's still angst in your body, give it a couple days. The problem's not going anywhere. The person's not going anywhere. No one's going anywhere. Give yourself to the grace. Don't answer the text. Don't answer the email. Don't do the phone call. Don't. Just take a couple hours, couple days, and what the other person will appreciate is that you replied mindfully, and you will surprise them. And they'll go, who are you and what did the aliens do with you? So with love and blessings, these are the ways that we transform. And I will just ground that in prayer for us today. Just take a breath, a collective breath. One more collective breath, breathing in. I just know right here, right now, the divine essence of love, your truth, that everlasting eternal light that burns in your heart, that opens and takes form. We give our will to it. Thy will be done to the heart. The heart is the center of wisdom. It is beyond all intellectual knowledge, and it is the informant of wisdom. We tap into that with ease and grace because we were born with it. We will pass on with it. And if you believe, we may even reincarnate with it. But the truth of this moment is that is your highest idea. That is the Christ light within you. That is the elevated consciousness. And all that's really going on here is a game of consciousness that reveals to you where we may have some further growth to do, but we can enter that joyfully knowing that Spirit always has our back. That it is, that we are a new breed, unkind, different type of person because we go within to discover that truth, to radiate it out to all that we meet. It excites me, it fills me up, it flows me over because this truth, this divine essence is who we are. And I celebrate it today and every day. I stand firmly in it and I will not move off this foundation. And I know that truth for you as it fills me up, flows over, and spills out onto all that pass by this building, and it radiates out of you wherever you go today. That I know this wisdom has pierced a piece of who you are and gives you what you need to fill you up and to help you traverse the greatness, the joys, the sorrows of your life. That Spirit has every answer to every conceived possible problem of the mind. That truth is our truth right here, right now, and I release it into the law knowing it cannot be returned void, for there is nothing but love, and so it is. Thank you so much. It is that time in our service where we talk about our giving, and we allow the ushers to flow freely through so that you can share whatever gifts you'd like to share with us. And we also read our beautiful affirmation. So with me now, loud and proud, divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. Thank you, life.
Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart.
You can sing that. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. You can go to extremes with impossible schemes. Laugh when your dreams fall apart at the seams, and life gets more exciting with each passing day. Love is either in your heart or on its way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, look at all you'll derive out of being alive. And here is the best part: you'll have a head start if you are among the very young at heart.
That was my Dick Van Dyke impression. I wanted to tap dance or something. I felt very moved to do a little ditty up here. If I could invite the ushers forward. Hello. I just know right here, right now, that the gifts imparted are just given because we have. They are given because we are givers, and they are received because they are the gifts of Spirit. And we gladly accept, knowing that they will be put to good use, collectively keeping our community, sustaining us in the truth and the words and the inner work. That I am so grateful to Spirit for everybody here, for every angel and deva in the empty seat, for every ounce of energy spent committed to this center. And we are so grateful for all of your givingness, time, talents, and treasures. Spirit surely does flow over and show up and show out here. And we are eternally grateful. And with that gratitude, we send it into the law, knowing that these gifts expand and multiply, and that is an unending supply from Spirit, because Spirit is all there is. And so it is.
So it is.
All right, and now the beautiful Kathleen.
Good morning. Yes, I am Kathleen. Let's begin by acknowledging any new faces who have joined us this morning. So if you're visiting, or you're here for the first time, or you're returning, would you stand, tell us your name, where you're from, so we can give you a warm, loving welcome.
My name is Jerry. I'm a visitor from Temecula, California.
Wonderful. Thank you. Anyone else? Please.
I'm returning.
Great.
That's kind of the story of my life, is returning. Anyway, let's just start returning either. Anyway, I'm Jamie. I live in Sedona, but I bounce around a lot. Between different locations and different services at home, so it's great to be here. And please get it. I'm here to this Tuesday.
Wonderful. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. After service, I invite you to the Power of the Word, which is our book gift store, and you will find a section of previously owned, well and gently read and loved books. We would like you to take one for yourself and enjoy it. And then after service, please join us in Sibley Hall for the 3 C's, crumpets, coffee, and conversation. The volunteers for Reverend Tracy's installation are gathering today at 11:45 after service for a short meeting in this room. Please attend, and there is a chat space on Google to get a hold of Hazel or Laura, who are facilitating this. And we are in need of a few more volunteers, so we'd love to have some others join us. And we want this to be the grandiest event of 2024 for our center. A reminder also that Reverend Kath continues her Google chat excuse me, on Tuesday evenings from 6 until 7:15 on the Emerging Church. That's the name of the book. Sign up in the lobby if you wish to participate. Also, Reverend Tracy continues her coffee talk here on Tuesdays with coffee and pastries as you chat with her. Contact her directly or the office and make arrangements for an appointment. She's also available online each Saturday. Sign-ups in the lobby also. I mentioned that Reverend Donald Graves will be our guest speaker next Sunday, and he'll follow up with a workshop after the service. So mark your calendars for that. And I ask that you check with your group leaders for the time and location of any specific group that you are attending and enjoy. The groups are also up on the screen before and after service, so I'm sure you're very aware of them. And I have a request. I would request that any group leader, board member, practitioner, office personnel, or any others, if you have something you would like me to announce on Sunday, please email me at kathleen@cslprescott.org by Saturday noon, so that I can assure the announcement will be made and it'll be clear, and I understand and you understand. Otherwise, it's a possibility that the announcement won't be made clear. So thank you for that. Please remember to drop a love offering into the container if you have a bite to eat after service. My phone is ringing in my hearing aid. Pardon me. It's distracting. If you choose to have something to eat after service, food offerings are also very welcome. I didn't see John Haas. Is he here?
Not today, he's not here.
Not here. I would like to read what he asked to be announced. This is concerning the celebration of life for the Raiders. A buffet lunch, Saturday, June 15th, is when the celebration of life will happen. The doors open at 10 a.m. Service begins at 10:30. A buffet lunch will be served in Sibley Hall with a speaker and microphone for storytelling. Sandy has agreed to be the point person for photographs of Karen and Richard to create a slideshow with Clay doing the Google Slides. You know that'll be precious. Send them to sandy@cslprescott.org. Reverend Tom Catlin will be the service leader that day. Reverend Tracy will provide the invocation and poem reading. Jackson will provide the music. There will be a time slot for remembering them by the community, and we'll ask the people to be relatively short as we want each one to have enough space. And we will have a Buddhist contribution from Kadampa. More coming at the end of month of May. Blessings. And I think with that, we are ready to welcome the youngsters from the Association of Awesomeness. Thank you.
Awesome kids. You want to say hi? No? All right. What'd you guys... You want to say hi, Kingston? This is my grandson, Kingston. Yeah, please do.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name is Elsbeth.
Elizabeth, what'd you do today? Elsbeth. Sorry, what'd you do today?
We did art projects with Play-Doh today, and we also had a lot of fun.
Yay! Did we have a lesson, Diane, today?
Well, we tried.
Okay. Luke might deter.
We tried letting out what's inside of us, like what's great about us, right? What all did we do? I am
smart, I am brave, and I can do it.
Yes, that's right. That's what our talk was about. That's what our talk was about. Well, thank you, guys. Did you guys want to say anything? Nope. Well, thank you for your help today, and always thank you. It takes a village. And thank you, Diane, for everything you do. Oh, Kingston, do you want to speak? You're never at a loss for words. Say hello. He's going to find Papa. All right, here we go. And thank you again for coming. We love you so much. And we're going to finish here with our benediction and song.
We're going to stand.
Stand, please. Thank you. Thank you. Would you please stand? Here we go. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs. I think it. I believe it. I feel it. I know it. I accept it. Thank you, life.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, with me.